And because you don't know what you want deep down, you accept what they say. So you go to school, you go to college, you get all of your degrees, you get your dream job, and at the end of the day, you still feel empty. And now you're depressed. And it's because this video is for anyone that's been feeling empty recently. I've realized that there's a lot of people who are doing things in their lives and they don't realize why they're doing it. But before I start, I wanted to ask you, is there some things that you've been doing recently that you just don't realize why you do it? And when someone asks you, why do you do that? Why do you say that? Why do you feel the way you feel? Your response is usually, you don't know. What if that is why you've been feeling empty recently? How can you fill yourself with something if you don't know what that something is? If you're looking for love or acceptance or to feel like enough, but you don't know that's what you're craving, how can you create a life where you can guarantee to feel those results, to get those results, guaranteed each and every day? Here's an example. When I realized that all I wanted in life was to feel fulfilled, life became much more easier for me because every time I wake up, I make small goals. If I can just help one person, if I can make one person smile, if I can do something for someone or for a group that is rewarding to them, that makes me feel fulfilled. And when I do that, I feel successful. I no longer have to wait 5 years or make a 10-year plan and follow this 10-year plan to maybe feel successful. Because I think that's what happens in life. Some of us don't really know what we need to feel full. So it's easier for us to buy what society is telling us or what your friend is telling you or what your parents is telling you to do. Some of your parents tell you to go be a doctor, a lawyer, or don't do this, or there's no money in that, or how are you going to do this? That's not going to make you feel happy. And because you don't know what you want deep down, you accept what they say. So you go to school, you go to college, you get all of your degrees, you get your dream job, and at the end of the day, you still feel empty. And now you're depressed. And it's because you never really know what you wanted. And instead of taking the time to figure out what it is, it was easier to be manipulated by external sources: social media, your environment, entertainers, celebrities. The list go on. But until you know what you want, you will never be able to make a plan to get there. One of my favorite things to talk about is playing the game of darts where you just throw darts on the wall, trying to hit the bullseye, because in the game you have a target. And the target in that game is to hit the bullseye. So if you hit the bullseye, you know that you're being successful. But if you miss, you can measure how far off you were from that bullseye. So you can readjust. You can say, okay, my plan to throw it with my left hand didn't work. I'm going to use my other hand. Or instead of throwing it too hard, I'm going to throw it softer this time. And you change. Eventually you hit the bullseye. But many of us, many of you, live your life with no bullseye. So you don't know how to readjust because you never set a target to begin with. Or the bullseye that you've been aiming at was someone else's because you thought it was going to make you fulfilled. Or you thought your parents knew or your friend knew what was best for you. So you aimed for that target. A lot of you hit it. And now you're realizing it's not what you wanted and you still feel empty. So what do? It's so simple that you won't do it. As I'm sitting here taking the time to make this video, 90% of you won't do this. Write it down. Take 10 minutes out of your life and write down what it is you actually want. And when I ask what you want, I'm not talking about external stuff. Most people are going to say, "Oh, I want to be successful. I want to be rich. I want to make a lot of money." That's not a real goal. That's an external goal. You're never going to be inspired to actually hit your target in life until you find out your internal reason why you do it. Why do you want to be rich? Are you tired of struggling? Do you feel like less of a person when you are around people who have fancy clothes and cars and things, so it makes you feel insecure? Are you tired of feeling insecure? That's more of a reason why to do something. It might not sound good, but at least it gives you a reason to get out of bed. Do you feel like you're not enough? Is that the question you ask yourself every day? So you always have to one up someone. So if someone tell you that they're doing something, you have to one up them because subconsciously you compared yourself to them when they were just sharing some information with you and you took it personal because you feel insecure. So now you have to tell a better story. Because once you become aware of what it is that drives you, now you can actually create a plan to get to where you want to go. And that is how you start to feel fulfilled. It's how you start to feel more and more filled. Eventually, your cup becomes full. It starts to overflow, like in Psalms 23. Your cup starts to overflow, and then you start to pour into other people. Think about that. What fills you? Are you looking for the good job, pat on the back? Is it the recognition? Do you think becoming a millionaire is going to make you feel powerful? What's the feeling that you're looking for? Because if it's a feeling that you're looking for, then can't you find a way to get that feeling today, right now? What do you want? Where is your bullseye? Take the time. If you're still watching this video, take the time to write down what it is you want. Once you figure out what you want, it's easier to avoid everything else in the world, all of the distractions. So when people ask you or tell you to do things, you can say no because it doesn't align with what you want to do and what makes you happy. Just wanted to share that with you. So have a good day.